El hospital.
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek! We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula gider. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squad, and that also means elephant. Okay. 10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Nej. Nej. Man. Igen. Ja. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Bambas. Bamba, okay, Bambas is ducks. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon. I buy a computer or quack, and here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for quack sounds vaguely like Hogun and the hok in Hogun in Korean or waku in Japanese, and that means it is the exact same kind of character. Oh, I see. This is Dikhe Ishai Fui, which means do you want food? But yeah, are you hungry? That kind of thing. How are the boys? Cocine da boy. Posso Milao. Pote. When is it? Proteine. Udros. Totopolo. In the designated chicken-eating area, obviously.
Live. Monsieur. Live là. Liwe, live là.
Macieje. Ja. Si. Wysoki. Macieje. Proč? Víte. Počkej. A. Si.
Oedden coginio panas.
Jacob. Hefed. 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 Hek.
6 XP second. Okay. Audio affected. So just let me know if you're having trouble hearing me so I can adjust. Well, we're gonna get into this. Start out with some days.
आमिर हर साल घर जाता है.
Amit. Here.
राज जनवरी में दिल्ली जाता है.
Raj. January.
जनवरी एक अच्छा महीना है.
January.
आमिर 2 महीने बाद दिल्ली जाएगा.
Will go. One second. Say into
फरवरी और मार्च.
February.
फरवरी का महीना छोटा होता है. फरवरी
Buddy.
का महीना छोटा होता है.
राज 4 साल बाद दिल्ली जाएगा.
Years.
गुरुवार.
Thursday. Guruvar.
बुधवार और गुरुवार.
Wednesday. Guruvar. Wednesday. Okay, that's you.
कल मंगलवार है.
Tomorrow.
दादा अप्रैल में आएंगे.
एक हफ्ते में 7 दिन होते हैं.
Oh, okay. Are days.
कल सोमवार है.
Tomorrow. God.
यह मार्च का पहला हफ्ता है. यह मार्च का पहला हफ्ता है।
First week.
दादा बुधवार को आएंगे।
Grandfather.
एक महीने में 4 हफ्ते होते हैं।
Month.
आमिर मंगलवार को मेरी किताब देगा।
Amir. मंगलवार.
जूलिया बुधवार को घर जाती है।
Home. Wednesday.
वह अप्रैल में जा रही है।
She going?
पीटर अप्रैल में नहीं खाएगा।
Will not.
आप मंगलवार को खेलते हैं।
Play on Tuesday.
गुरुवार,
Thursday.
आप मंगलवार को खेलते हैं।
Play on really perfect.
जुलाई,
It's a hard
मई,
आज शनिवार है।
day. God.
कल शुक्रवार है।
Tomorrow. God. God. Tomorrow is Friday.
मैं अगले दिन आऊंगी।
I.
दादा जून में जाएंगे।
Father.
मई जून से बड़ा महीना है। मई जून से बड़ा महीना है। मेरी दादी शनिवार को नहीं खाती।
Grandmother. Not. Saturday.
अगला दिन सोमवार है।
Day. God.
मैं जुलाई में दिल्ली जा रही हूँ।
City.
वह अगले सोमवार दिल्ली जाएगा।
Monday.
सितंबर,
September.
आज रविवार है।
God. God. Monday. Think I meant to. I thought it was today, but Sunday. Sunday. I mean, same thing.
पीटर अगस्त में आएगा।
Will.
अगस्त, सितंबर और अक्टूबर। मेरे दादा नवंबर में अमेरिका आएंगे। पीटर नवंबर और दिसंबर में नहीं तैरता।
दिसंबर में बच्चे स्कूल नहीं जाते। दिसंबर में बच्चे स्कूल नहीं जाते। नेहा रविवार को जाएगी।
अगला महीना अक्टूबर है।
Month.
सितंबर में नेहा आएगी।
नेहा अक्टूबर में जाएगी।
Oh.
पीटर अक्टूबर में दिल्ली जाएगा।
Peter. Oh. October.
रविवार को स्कूल बंद होते हैं।
Close. Sunday.
मेरे पिता सितंबर में भारत जाएंगे।
Father. September.
वो बच्ची नवंबर में दिल्ली जाएगी।
यह महीना दिसंबर है।
आज रविवार है।
Day. Okay, we've leveled up. Time to standing. 200 points currently. Mindful. Mindful. But nation.
Marjorie et puis Karine.
And Gary. Another very Quebecois sounding thing. Is nearly as common if.
Ou manje di ri ak pen? Tan pri souple et merci.
And
Li avem.
Yavin.
Paul mange di ri avem.
Oui, of him.
André manje di ri epi Paul manje pen. André di ri manje di ri epi Paul manje pen. Epi ou?
André pa manje pen men li manje di ri. Li manje et moins boire.
Division of labor there.
Souple, manger di riz epi manger pain.
Manger, mange.
Yap manje di riz et yap boire lait.
Rice and
Tant pis souple, manje di riz mais pas manger pain.
almond. Bread.
Karine pap manger rien mais la boire.
Anything. But manger.
Nou pap manger et mwen pap boire.
I. Drinking.
Li pas manger du tout et m'a manger.
Eating.
Et puis moins,
Me. But a fool.
pain ak lait pour Karine.
Back. Milk. Paris.
Manger a c'est pour mwen. Manger a c'est pour mwen.
Yeah, c'est pour.
André reme di riz paske li manje pain.
André. Bread. Et Raymond. C'est quoi?
Li pas parler anglais ou bien créole parce que l'a mangé.
Aunt. Buzz.
Alors, ou pale anglais ak créole avec li?
Allô. Paul avec him. Allez. On n'a pas parlé.
Li manje di riz ou bien li pa manje anyen?
Rice. Does not. Rien. Pas manger.
Alors, André pa manje di riz, men li manje pain?
See how it sounds. See how it sounds. How do you say? fix that then. How do you fix that then? Let's see how that sounds. Oh, let's see how that sounds. Oh, yeah. And let's see how that sounds. Oh, yeah. And let's try now. Let's try now. And let's just see how this works as I'm talking normally for a minute. Try now. And let's just see how this works as I'm talking normally for maybe a little bit more. And let's just see how this works as I'm talking normally for maybe a little bit more. And maybe even more than that. And maybe even more than that. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, okay, I thought after fixing the noise gate and adjusting the okay, that was a problem. After fixing the noise gate last night thanks to Ether Polyglot, and after adjusting, getting this overhead mic set up, arranged, I thought I could take down the amplification a bit. I thought I probably needed to, and it turns out that actually messed everything up. Okay, let's get Windows back in order. Alors, entrez par manger Thierry, mais les manger pain.
C'est parce que ou mangez diri ou bien parce que ou boilet?
That's because you eat rice, or because you drink milk. Yeah, papou ou bien pouillot. The food is not for you or them, I think. Perfect. Manger.
Manger. Manger a.
Manger a. Food. Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Espagheti, c'est manger.
Pasta is food.
Mwen cuit espagheti.
Moi cuit spaghetti. I cook pasta.
Paul, André, et puis tout Marjorie.
Paul, André, and also Marjorie.
Et puis tout m'pa reme spaghetti. Pa reme spaghetti.
Tifia manje espagheti.
The girl eats pasta. Tifia mange spaghetti. So, to recap, the a after a noun, like Tifi, girl, Tifia means the girl in Creole.
Map cuit spaghetti.
Spaghetti. I'm cooking pasta.
Mwen cuit manje a.
I cook the food. Manger a.
Mwen pa cuit manger.
I do not cook.
Mwen pa we manger a.
Oh, we manger a. I do not see food.
Bwe
I see
dlo,
the food.
epi tou bwe let.
Drink water. and also drink milk.
Mwen pa wè manje ya.
I do not see the food. Can't believe I got that wrong. Missed the just after explaining what that is and how that works. That's a little bit on the nose. Z.
Ze. Manje ya se ze ak espageti.
E. Food. Okay, the meal is eggs and pasta. Yeah, c'est Z ak spaghetti. Manger matin.
Manje matin.
Matin.
Mwen manje espageti pou manje matin.
I eat pasta for breakfast. Fromage.
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 Let ze fromaj.
Cheese. Egg. Wait, no. Milk, egg, cheese.
Mwen se vegetalien.
Moi, c'est végétalien. I am. Wait, is vegan and vegetarian the same word in Haitian Creole?
Mwen se yon vegetalien.
Oui,
Mwen
c'est
se
yon
yon
végétalien.
vegetalien.
Ou reme fromage pou manje matin.
You like cheese for breakfast. Ou reme fromage pour manger matin.
Li reme cuit manje.
He loves to cook.
Mwen manje matin.
I eat breakfast. Breakfast. Moi manger matin.
Ze, fromage, manje matin.
Egg, cheese, breakfast.
Manje ze avèk fromaj pou manje matin.
I eat eggs with cheese for breakfast. Manger avec fromage pour manger matin. They like to eat. We like to cook.
Se manje matin,
That's breakfast.
Li,
Reme,
reme, cuite,
manger.
manje.
Okay.
M,
C'est
se, végétalien.
végétalien. C'est yon végétalien. Okay, and we've leveled up. So where are we? 2174. And Winnie in first place is on 2316. It's actually only the top two spots that are really moving. Apparently, is place 3 is 1266. So there's a pretty safe distance there. And it is time to pick another language on the iMask of random selection. And I believe we have isiZulu. We do indeed. Update titles. isiZulu. Okay, intro.
Igama lami.
Kamalam. My name?
Ne.
Right? Ne?
Ko.
Go.
Ko. Igama lakhe nguKate. Ne.
Igamalakin Kate, ne? Her name is Kate, right? Gamalakin Kate, ne?
Igama lami nguBen. Lami nguBen.
Dam Guben.
Igama lakhe.
Her name. Gamalaki.
Igama lami nguMax.
Gamalami Max. Umex. Igamalami Umex. Name is Mex.
Igama lakhe nguSara. Ne.
Gamalaki Gusara, ne? Her name is Sarah, in it.
Igama lami.
My name.
Igama lakhe nguSara.
Her name. Igamalaki Gusara. Her name is Sarah.
Igama lakhe nguEmma. Ne.
Her name is Emma, right?
Igama lami nguSara.
My name is Sarah.
Igama lami nguEmma.
My name is Emma. Okay, 1 of 4.
eLondon.
London, London,
eLondon.
London.
eLondon. eLondon. Ne.
In London, right?
eSanton.
In Santon.
Ngihlala eNew York.
I live in New York. Ngihlala in New York.
Igama lakho.
Your name. Igama lako.
Ngihlala eSanton.
Ngihlala eSanton. I live in Santon.
Igama lakho.
Igama lako. Your name.
Ngihlala eLondon.
Ngihlala eLondon. I live in London.
eSanton. Ne.
In Santon, right?
Igama lakho nguSara. Ne.
Your name is Sarah, in it? Igama lako ngusara, ne?
eNew York.
In New York.
Igama lakho nguBen. Ne.
Your name is Ben, right?
eNew York. Ne.
In New York, in it.
eLondon.
In London. Okay. 2-4.
Ngijabulela ukwazi Emma.
Yes, isiZulu. Hello, Mask. How's the audio sounding? I just had to adjust it a little bit because I've got a new mic set up. I've got an overhead mic now. The mic is the same mic, but now it's over my head. And I turned down the amplification, thinking that I wouldn't need it, and it turned out I turned it down so low that the noise gate ended up eating up basically everything I said. Yeah, so I just got done fixing all that. Ether Polyglot, one of the new arrivals to this channel, was helping me last night get the noise gate set up, Now I thought maybe I'm over amplifying at this point. I'm going to turn down the amplification, and doing that actually completely wrecked everything. Ngijabulela ukukwazi Emma. Nice to meet you, Emma.
Igama lakhe nguJohn.
How you doing, Mask? Igama lakhe nguJohn. His name is John.
Igama lakhe.
Her name, igama lakhe.
eHarvard University, ne?
At Harvard University. In it.
Sawubona, ngifunda University of Cape Town.
Sawubona, ngifunda University of Cape Town. Hello. I study at University of Kapstadt.
University of Cape Town, ne?
University of Cape Town.
Ne? Ngijabulela ukukwazi.
Ngijabulela ukukwazi. Nice to meet you.
Igama lakhe nguMax, ne?
His name is Max. In it.
Igama lakhe nguKat.
This must be like automatic voices or something, because it's mispronouncing things that I don't think any native speaker would ever, like ngukat, Kate. I don't think any native speaker would pronounce Kate that way. Her name is Kate. Kamalake ngu Kate.
Igama lakhe nguBen, ne?
His name is Ben. In it.
Igama lakhe nguEmma.
The Expanse? Her name is Emma.
Sawubona, ngijabulela ukukwazi.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Jabulela ukukwazi.
Ngifunda University of Cape Town.
I study at University of Cape Town.
Igama lakhe nguEmma.
Her name is Emma. What is it said in South Africa? Is it like District 10? Singisi.
Isingisi.
English.
Sizobuye sibonane sala kahle.
Sizobuye sibonane sala kahle. See you later. Go well, I think.
Ke.
Ke.
Isiswahili.
Isiswahili.
isiZulu.
Isizulu.
Ku.
Isiswahili.
Isiswahili.
Ngikhuluma isingisi.
Ngikhuluma isingisi. English. Oh, okay.
Isiswahili, ne?
Swahili, innit?
Sizobuye sibonane, hamba kahle.
Sizobuye sibonane, hamba kahle. See you later. Go well.
Ngikhuluma.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Zulu has these really lovely, long, sort of practically like luxurious vowels, I find. It's like Italian, but more so, but with clicks. Ngikhuluma, I speak.
IsiZulu.
Sizulu.
Sizobuye sibonane.
Sizobuye sibonane. See you later.
Sawubona, ngikhuluma isiZulu.
Hello, I speak Zulu. Sawubona, ngikhuluma isiZulu.
Sizobuye sibonane sala kahle.
See you later. Go well.
Sizobuye sibonane sala kahle.
See you later. Stay well. Oh, go well, stay well. Oh, it's like Korean. 안녕히 가시라요. 안녕히 계시라요. Okay. And have we leveled up? We have indeed. Let's see what the XP league table situation is. We are on 2232 and closing in on first place. We have been contending. It's been going back and forth between me and Winnie for like 2 days now. And it is time to randomly select a new language. So far today, we've done Zulu, Haitian Creole, and Hindi. And it occurs to me that probably nobody can even hear the Hindi because of the noise gate fuck up. Okay. Let it be that, please. And Arabic. I can do with Arabic. Some Arabic. Okay, and adjust Arabic. Oh, I see. It looks like there's a couple of new viewers. And I'd just like to welcome you. We are just switching languages, as we do every time I level up. And we're just about to start with some Arabic. Your name, family. Stick this in here. This is how I mark my place. I can't see the entire chat window. I can just see the edge of it. And so having a dark one from where I've left a message allows me to note when there's a new message once it starts to fill up. Okay, family. Ladab.
لضب. قط.
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 لطب.
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 قذ. قذ.
قذ. قذ.
قذ.
قذ. قذ.
قذ.
قط.
قط.
ض.
ضا.
ض.
ض.
لضب.
لضب. لضب.
لضب.
لضب.
لضب.
ضا.
ض. ض.
ضا.
ض.
قط.
قط. ض.
ض. ضا.
ض.
ض.
ض. لطب.
لطب.
ض.
ضا.
قط.
قط.
لضب. قذ.
قذ.
ض. ض. ض.
ضا. Okay.
محمود. سامية. معلم. طوبة. سامية. زوجة.
My favorite. One of the funniest and most typical things in District 9 is how all the Anglo-South Africans and Afrikaners have no trouble understanding prawn, but they need somebody to translate for them when somebody starts speaking isiZulu.
زوجة.
Zauja.
زوجة. زوجة. كندي.
Kennedy.
فرنسا.
Franza.
داوود.
It was towards the very end. It was like a blink and you miss it moment. There's just this negotiation going on, and so at some point, God, it's been a few years. I need to rewatch that. That was good, but it was like just a 2-minute thing. If you turned away, you
بنت
could have missed
وجدة.
it.
بنت وجدة.
بنت وجدة.
بنت
وجدة.
وجدة.
جدي.
جدي.
وجدتي.
وجدتي. زوجتي أستاذة.
زوجتي أستاذة.
زوجتي
أستاذة.
أستاذة.
زوجة وزوجة.
زوجة وزوجة. ولد وجد.
Boy and grandfather. جد
جد.
وجدة.
وجدة. جدتي في بيتي.
جدتي
جدتي
في بيتي.
بيتي.
Yes, it's also a word that is used in Hindi as well. When India play England in the cricket, you often will hear people talking about beat the Ferengi. زوجي
زوجي.
محمود
محمود.
محاسب
محاسب.
سريع.
سريع.
Yeah, they must have. There's a lot of that sort of vocabulary transfer between like Turkey and India. All sorts of things. I just sort of move back and forth around there.
جدي جورج.
My grandfather, George.
زوجتي تعبانة.
I'm actually not sure about that one. Zawjati, I think they might have been Turkic speaking, possibly. Zawjati ta'bana. My wife is tired.
ولد وجدة.
Boy and grandmother.
جدي غريب.
My grandfather is weird. Once again, we continue with the obsession with weirdness in Duolingo Arabic. زوجتي.
زوجتي.
جدتي.
جدتي.
محاسبة.
محاسبة.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you kind of have to, since, you had Arab traders dealing heavily with Indonesians as well, which is how Islam gets there. I mean, there's no way that they could have done that without going through India as well, or at least stopping there. Not the area of history I'm most familiar with, but,
قطتك. قطتك.
your cat.
جيد.
Good.
ذكار.
ذكار.
زوجتي.
زوجتي. قطة.
أنا. جوبة. جوعان. قطة.
Yeah, exactly. Because Turkish has huge amounts of Arabic in it as well. And so does Farsi, and so does Hindi as well. I mean, Hindi, the northern Indian languages are full of Arabic words.
زوجة لبنانية.
زوجة.
زوجة.
لبنانية.
لبنانية. ملكة.
Queen.
محمود.
محمود.
قطة.
Cat.
أروى.
أروى. Yes, exactly. Who basically reversed engineered Asian technology in order to actually make their big, like, entree into imperialism, really.
زوجتك أستاذة يا كري.
زوجتك أستاذة يا كري. زوجتك أستاذة
أستاذة
يا
يا
كري.
كري.
زوجتك ملكة
ملكة.
يا سام.
هل زوجتك فرنسية يا سام؟
Is your wife French, Sam?
هل
قطتك من كوبا يا سيف.
جد لطيف وجد لطيف.
A kind grandmother and a kind grandfather.
يا كري هل زوجتك أستاذة؟
Carrie, is your wife a professor?
يا مايك. هل جدتك أستاذة؟
جدتك زوجة
لبنانية
مشهورة. جودي زوجتك يا كاري. Okay, now imagine a use case for that phrase.
يا مايك هل رانيا جدتك؟
Yeah. And would have been impossible if current intellectual property standards existed, which is something that often gets
يا
forgotten.
مايك هل رانيا جدتك؟
يا مايك هل رانيا جدتك؟ جدة لطيفة. أنا لطيفة وجد لطيف. Of bollocks, that was misclick. جدة لطيفة وجد لطيف. ضغط ضيط hell yes. Yeah, that's ضوط.
ضغط ذوت ذوت
Front of mouth versus back of mouth. Also Arabisch finde ich so halbwegs schwer. Also gerade die Schrift bereitet mir gewisse Schwierigkeiten, denn die Vokalen sind ja nicht ausdrücklich ausgeschrieben. Also hier auf Duolingo schon. Also dann, also da ist es ja halb so wild. Aber sozusagen, also halt im Alltag ist es halt so, dass die Vokalen größtenteils eben nicht ausdrücklich ausgeschrieben sind. Und da muss man halt auswendig lernen, wie man dies und das eigentlich ausspricht. Und also das bereitet mir schon Schwierigkeiten. Aber an sich ist die Sprache nicht sonderlich schwer. Also aus meiner Sicht. Your mileage may vary.
باب سوري
Suri,
مايك
Mike,
إبراهيم
Ibrahim. So. Jari, Jari, أي
مايك
وجارتي
وجارتي
جارتي جودي
جودي جارة
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 جاري
جاري إبراهيم
جد
جد هل مدينتك مزدحمة يا بوب؟
هل
هل
مدينتك
مدينتك
مزدحمة
مزدحمة يا
يا
بوب؟
بوب مزدحمة crowded جار جارة
جارة جارتي جودي أمريكية
جارتي
جارتي
جودي
جودي
أمريكية
أمريكية
هل
هل
مدينتك
مدينتك
باريس
باريس
يا سامية
سامية أين مدينتك يا جودي؟
أين
أين
مدينتك يا
يا
جودي
جودي؟
معلمتك
معلمتك
روزا
روزا
غريبة يا
يا
سامية
سامية
go with غريب again
معلمتك جودي
your teacher Judy معلمتك
معلمتك
روزا
روزا
غربية
غريبة
غريبة يا
يا
سام
سام جاري مايك وجارتي جودي
my neighbor Mike and my neighbor Judy.
معلمتك جودي ذكية يا سامية
Also, neue Sprachen. Also ein paar schon. Also Guarani, Katalanisch, Dings. Da war schon Zulu war schon dabei. Das war die vorige Sprache. Und dann halt Hawaiianisch. معلمتك جودي ذكية يا سامية. Your teacher Judy is smart. Samia.
معلمتك جودي ذكية يا سام
Your teacher Judy is smart. Sam.
هل جودي معلمتك يا سام؟
Is Judy your teacher, Sam? I thought we just established that she is. What was the point of that prior exchange there? أين مدينتك يا جورج?
جورج
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, we've leveled up. And it is time for an XP check-in. Okay, we are 12 points short of first place. And it is time to pick a new language. The eye mask of randomization. And what did I get? Irish? Yes, it is Irish. Welliga. Irish. And drink of water. Where's my water? Right. The horse has vegetables. A glossary of an gapel. Og.
Tá siúcra ag an dohain alla.
The spider has sugar. Pagishke Agan Porton. Crab has water. Well, good. Glad the crab has water. Well, thank you, Tristan. Feel free to spread the word. I wonder if they're going to have... Sometimes they have, like, little song references in some of these. Wonder if you do it long enough, you'll get There's Whiskey in the Jar or something. Sutalun akan bosche. Yeah. Sutalun bosche. Child has a strawberry, I think. Taishke agan Colleen.
Ichim rivan galín.
I eat before the girl. Riv. Henan mad riven shodach. E. Madro. Fox. Eats before the deer, I think. And the dog eats before... Madra's dog. That's Shonach. Okay, got it. Yeah. The Madra, Agan Buchol. Boy has a dog. Lunch, Lon, Dan, Limoy, Limoj, Rev, Ian.
Ichim rivan bortan.
Riv and Borton. Horses, Couple, Orosche. Midge, Og, Diem. Well, which languages are you thinking of in particular? Is there some specifically? Olan and Luch, Ishke Revan Davanada. The mouse drinks water before the spider.
Tá a rán rih an gathe.
The bread is in front of the coffee. Okay. Well, it's not so much that I find languages specifically that don't use the Latin alphabet easy. What it comes down to is, I mean, some of these are languages that I've just studied for nearly my entire life. Like Russian, I first started studying it when I was about 5 years old. Because I had this old, like, 1966 Random House unabridged dictionary, like this thick, in my room when I was like 5. And in the back there was a table. The alphabets of the world. There were 5 of them, very comprehensive. And one of them was the Cyrillic alphabet, the Russian alphabet, and it fascinated me. I just thought it looked really, really cool, and I wanted to know everything about it, so I decided to just learn everything I could. Get books out, get tapes out, and stuff like that. So Russian is one that I'm very familiar with, because I've been doing stuff with Russian for a really, really long time. And, well, Hebrew I don't find particularly... Hebrew and Arabic I don't really find particularly easy, because they both have this problem with, like, the lack of explicit vowels. I mean, but the Hebrew alphabet I learned really young, because, I mean, in, like, Sunday school, we learned it, and so I know the alphabet, and it's, you use it in Yiddish, so, if I'm just having to remember the meanings of words and not necessarily quite how they're pronounced, I can kind of deal with it. Same with Arabic, really. Sibi is the same issue. I mean, and other than that, I mean, it isn't a method specific to languages without the Roman alphabet or Latin alphabet. What it really comes down to is I sort of bombard myself with comprehensible input that's of interest to me. So, like, I will find translations of books I kind of basically know by heart in my target languages. Like, one of them that I just happen to know by heart and it's just really easy to get is John Grisham's The Firm. So I know that book practically by heart, and so I've learned a lot of languages starting from reading the translated editions of The Firm, or The Shining as well as another one. And, just, music and movies and talking to people and stuff like that. And just finding all sorts of ways to expose myself to the language. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I mean, and the funny thing for me was, I'd not heard of, there's this researcher by the name of Stephen Krashen. And he is a language acquisition researcher. He's been doing it for ages. And his theory that he's been, finding research results in support of for like 40 odd years is called comprehensible input. And when I first heard him describe it in a lecture that YouTube just recommended to me, it was like, oh wow, this is exactly the way I learn languages. This is my exact method. And he has all this research suggesting that it's just the way the brain picks up languages. The dog eats before the fox. Fox? I mean, I'm actually sort of putting together a coaching course type thing where I help people develop confidence in speaking by helping them hook up with language learning materials that come from their areas of interest, because we all have varying levels of fluency even in our native language depending on various things, one of which is topic. Like, if you want me to talk, if you want me to talk about, like, particle physics, for example, I'm not fluent in anything. Because I know basically nothing about it. But you put, on subjects that I'm, familiar with and comfortable with and confident and enjoy, I can talk for hours. I can talk for days. And the thing is, the language is the language. You're going to get the same, grammar, you're going to get the same pronunciation, all that stuff, regardless of what subject you're being exposed to, right? Like, I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're reading an Italian translation of The Shining or the Codice di Procedura Penale or something like that. You're going to get, it's still Italian. You're still picking that stuff up. You're picking up a different vocabulary, but you're still picking up important aspects of the language that are transferable to being able to talk about other more general things. So this like coaching program that I'm putting together is where clients will talk to me and I'll interview them and find out what kind of stuff they're into, what their subjects are, and then help them find resources in their target language that allow them to learn their target language through the medium of the stuff they like. Which is basically, I mean, that's what I do. I learn my target languages through the medium of the stuff I like. And the languages that I've had the least success with are, oh yeah, I mean, like, I was doing comprehensible input before I knew that comprehensible input was a thing. Like, when I first heard him, it's like, holy shit, this is exactly what I do. This is literally my thing. I just thought it was, like, my thing. But then, I started to, a couple of years ago, I started to, like, seeing YouTube polyglots and listening to how they talked about how they learned stuff, like, and it was like, they're basically just doing the versions of the same methods that I did, that I thought I was the only one who'd ever heard of. And, gradually you start to realize that actually probably the biggest barrier to most people learning other languages is the shit they teach you in school and how completely those methods are incompatible with the way we actually learn languages. So yeah, I mean, the Brun Oragali. The girl is sad. That could also mean the girl is sorry. Ar. Same in Welsh, incidentally. Yeah, I mean, the languages I've had the least success with are the languages I've had the hardest time getting materials in the subjects that getting materials that allow me to learn it through the medium of the stuff I like. Like Farsi and Hindi, I have a lot of trouble finding that sort of material. Like, if somebody could find me a hard copy of The Firm in I know that they published The Firm in Farsi. I've got a bad PDF that I've seen of it. It's just a horrible print, and you have to turn the pages in the wrong direction, so it doesn't help much, because font matters. Like, font has everything to do with how long you can concentrate on text before it gives you a headache. I'm saying that in the end, we are necessarily teaching ourselves. Now, people can help us. People who also know what they're doing can help us. It's not that schools are inherently barriers. It's that the methods that schools use often suck. The methods just aren't good. They are not in touch with the ways in which people actually learn language a lot of the time. And the result is that you can go through 4 years of high school Spanish, 4 years of university Spanish, and work all the way up to a PhD in Spanish. And if I go and say, "Hola, cómo estás, weón? Tanto tiempo," you still could kind of freeze up because you're not that comfortable with the language. It's not that schools are inherently the problem. It's that schools, are not they teach in methods that really, and in environments that really don't help. Fundamentally, we're always teaching ourselves things, even when people are teaching us. It's a matter of whether you're getting the resources and methods that allow you to really do it the way that your brain wants to do it, or not. And so what I'm saying is, like, I can help people get connected with the stuff that will help them, that will be the most helpful to learning. But in the end, the learning has to happen. The person who's learning, the learner has to actually do the learning. And it's just a matter of making it easier or harder. And to me, the role of a good teacher in this sort of situation is helping people to understand, get in touch with the best way for them to learn things. The shid are a couple. They are on the horse.
Tá an sicín ar a bláta.
Oh, an sicín are an bláta. And thank you for that question, Tristan. See, these are the kind of questions that are really, I mean, this is why the chat is actually really good for him, because I'm terrible at coming up with topics. But I have tons of stuff that I can talk about with language if somebody just sort of spontaneously says, hey, so what do you think of universal grammar? Or, what do you think, what do you think of the Altaic theory? Questions that I've actually been asked a couple of times in chat. And then I could just sit here and I can talk for days. And then I just go and I clip it for content and I edit it and I edit all the and all that other crap out of there. And I've got content. It's great. This is how I am hoping for this thing to work, really. Okay. Cats are a man. The cat is on the woman. Igoni, always. I know that I didn't need to think about that because in no parking signs in Ireland, they're all their signage, all their like official signage is bilingual. And so I've seen Igoni everywhere where there's a no parking sign. E. Always, always. Igoni, Igoni. Tommy Dribloid. Driblodge. Okay.
Igoni.
Igoni. Okay, we just had this though. What my definition is. Okay, it would help if you say what you don't get. I'll tell you, like, when I say, and I think this is more or less also, like, when Crashin says it, he's probably saying basically the same thing. You have input, like, you have the target language being spoken to you. Like, if you're learning English, this would be an example of input. Now, what makes it comprehensible input as opposed to input your brain can't do anything with is that there's some point of reference within it. And in early stages, that can be pictures, or it could be bloody pantomime and stuff like that. Or it can just be introducing words one by one, and then you tell a story with them, which is basically how a method called TPRS works. That is based very much on sort of comprehensible input theory. So the more points of reference you have that your brain can say, okay, that is a thing that is familiar within this stream of otherwise unfamiliar input. And then the more those points of reference you have, the more comprehensible it is. And the more comprehensible it is, the more your brain can do with it, and the more, like, language-related information your brain can sort of suck out of it. Like my method with the translated editions of the Firm, what makes that work is I know the Firm by heart. Like, I know pretty much, I mean, I couldn't recite the thing, but if you give me if you read, a couple of lines to me, I can tell you probably what's about to happen, or whatever, or what the next line is, more or less. And since I have that really kind of detailed point of reference, I can look at the firm in an unfamiliar language, say in Chinese or Finnish or whatever, and I know the names of the characters, and I know what's going on, so I can focus on how they say the thing. It's just, I mean, it's not a complicated concept in the end. It is just the idea that you have this input, this language being used, and it offers something about it makes it possible for you to comprehend it. There's some point of reference in it.
Tá siad I dribblóid.
They are in trouble. Olan, Orosja, J, R. The dog is in trouble. Like, have I answered your question there, or is there some bit that you're not? Igoni. Is there some bit I could clear up better? Just let me know. I mean, e troublage. Perfect. Okay, we leveled up, and we are now on top of Sapphire League again by 2 points. And it is time, since we've leveled up, to pick a new language. And if there's still a bit that you're that is not making sense to you, just let me know, and I will try my best to clarify. I think I've explained it probably in enough detail, but if I've missed something, just let me know and I'll fill in the gap. Okay. Okay, where have we landed? Please, not Latin. Finnish. I love Finnish. Finnish is fun to pronounce, and I need chapstick. Okay, Finnish time. Right. Update title. And thank you, Tristan. When you ask questions like this, you're basically helping me create content. That is exactly how I'm hoping this channel is gonna work. People ask me stuff, and then I say stuff, and I say things that are worth, are worth remembering, hopefully. And it becomes content. I can clip it together, and I've got stuff. Yeah. Let me just put a little bookmark in here for me.
Australialainen perhe grillaa yhdessä.
The Australian family is having a barbie together. Australialainen perhe grillaa yhdessä.
Onko tämä lause hindiä?
Is this sentence Hindi? Ei se ole. Tuo sana on hindiä.
Lause on hindiä.
The sentence is Hindi.
Minä en ole kotona.
I am not home. Finnish has an interesting feature that the word for not, there is actually its own verb. So you conjugate the word for not. Minä olen, I am, but minä en ole. Sinä et ole. You are not, I am not. It's a thing that you have to get used to in Finnish. Anteeksi, minä en puhu suomea.
Anteeksi, minä en puhu hindiä.
Sorry, I do not speak Hindi. Anteeksi, minä en puhu hindiä. Sinä et ole kotona. You are not. See, the word for not is what gets inflected. Et ole.
Sinä et puhu islantia.
You do not speak Icelandic. That's one I really would like to learn properly. It's just fascinating to me.
Miksi sinä et ole kotona?
Miksi
Sinä et ole
ole
kotona?
Why aren't you at home?
Sinä et puhu norjaa.
You do not speak Norwegian. Anteeksi, minä en puhu japania.
Australialainen mies ei ole kotona.
The Australian man is not at home. Also die Aussprache. Ja, also das hat mit dem Rhythmus zu tun. Die Wörter werden halt irgendwie gesungen. Es gibt diese langen Vokalen und diese kurzen und zusammen klingt das einfach super. Hola papi Wilson, ¿cómo estás? Llegamos a la primera posición en la división Zafiro y ya estamos, nos estamos ocupando del finlandés. Sinä et puhu englantia.
Australialainen laulaja ei ole pitkä.
Australialainen laulaja ei ole pitkä. The Australian singer is not tall. Amerikkalainen professori ei ole täällä. Qué lástima. Bueno, yo estoy bien. ¿Qué te pasó? Si quería hablar de la cuestión. Si no, entonces. ¿Está bien también?
Hän
Ei
puhu
suomea.
I mean, it's got these vowels, and Finnish is a very vowel-intensive language. It just gives it a neat
Canada.
feeling. Ooh, I wonder what this might be. Could it be Canada?
Shamaanit.
Shamans. Duo shamanit asuvat Norjassa.
Shamanit laulavat ja tanssivat.
Shamans. The shamans are singing and dancing.
He eivät puhu japania.
Ow. ¿Es el cuello o la garganta? ¿Te lastimaste? ¿Te traumaste o algo? Eivät puhu japania. They do not speak Japanese. Leo ja Kaisa eivät asu enää Virossa.
Anteeksi, me emme puhu unkaria.
Sorry, we do not speak Hungarian. Me emme puhu saksaa.
Me emme puhu kiinaa.
We do not speak Chinese. Me emme asu enää Ranskassa.
Me emme asu Sveitsissä.
Oh, chucha. Qué mal. Espero que te repongas al tiro. We do not live in Switzerland.
Nämä shamanit asuvat Kanadassa.
These shamans live in Canada.
Ettekö te asu enää Suomessa?
Ettekö te asu enää Suomessa? Do you not live in Finland anymore?
Miksi te ette asu enää Berliinissä?
Miksi te ette asu enää Berliinissä? Why do you not live in Berlin anymore? Te et puhu koreaa. Te ette, of course.
Miksi te ette asu enää Kanadassa?
Why do you not live in Canada anymore? Just gonna keep asking this one country after another, aren't we?
Eivätkö he puhu ruotsia? Eivätkö
He puhu
puhu ruotsia?
Ette puhu koreaa. Now, one thing to note, they're doing this in a very in one word order all the time, a very fixed word order. Te ette puhu koreaa. Sinä et puhu koreaa. Whatever. But you can actually do it the other way around. You can say ette te puhu koreaa. Et sinä puhu koreaa. And that is just as correct. Finnish has very flexible word order because there are all these endings on everything that already tell you what everything's doing in the sentence. 2 of 4.
Minulla on koti-ikävä.
I am homesick. Minulla on koti-ikävä.
Anteeksi, en osaa puhua suomea.
Sorry, I cannot speak Finnish.
Amerikkalainen mies ei osaa tanssia. Tanssia. Onko sinulla koti-ikävä?
Are you homesick?
Puhutko venäjää? Puhun, mutta vain vähän.
Do you speak Russian? Yes, but just a bit. Sujuvaa venäjää.
He eivät osaa puhua suomea.
They cannot speak Finnish.
Hän ei puhu ruotsia vaan norjaa.
She. Hän is genderless. It could be he or she. Or they. Singular they only, though. He is plural they. Hän ei puhu ruotsia vaan norjaa. Is not speaking Swedish but Norwegian.
Opettajat tajuavat, että tämä pupu on lemmikki.
The teachers realize that this bunny is a pet. Emme asu Pariisissa, vaan Prahassa.
Heillä on usein koti-ikävä.
They often are homesick. Oh bollocks! That was correct. It's just a different word order. It means the same thing. You can say they are often homesick, or they often are homesick. And I mean, you can't get these are individual course creators who are putting the correct answers in, so I don't completely blame them for not getting all the possibilities. But that's I clicked too quick, or I would have just reported that so that they could fix it. En ole Kanadassa vaan Suomessa.
Tanssitteko te usein tangoa? Emme. Meillä on nykyään niin vähän aikaa.
Often dance the tango? No. We have so little time these days.
He eivät halua eksyä.
They do not want to extra. Guess and get lost. Olen kanadalainen.
Missä kartta on? En halua eksyä.
The map. I do not want to get lost. Olen velho. I am a wizard. Velho.
Onko tuo oikea rakennus? En halua eksyä.
Is that the correct building? I do not want to get lost.
Heillä on usein koti-ikävä.
They are often homesick. Three of four.
Argentiina.
Oh, I wonder which one this is.
Turistit eivät puhu suomea.
The tourists do not speak Finnish. Nuo turistit eivät osaa laulaa.
Turistit haluavat lisää juotavaa.
Tourists want something more to drink.
Suomi ei ole Skandinaviassa.
Finland is not in Scandinavia.
Onko sinulla koskaan koti-ikävä?
Are you ever homesick? Koskaan.
Emme asu Skandinaviassa, vaan Suomessa.
We do not live in Scandinavia, but in Finland.
Meillä on tosi hauskaa Japanissa.
We are having a lot of fun in Japan.
Emme osaa Unkaria, vaikka asumme Unkarissa.
We do not know Hungarian, even though we live in Hungary. Outoa. Hän ei halua syödä pullaa, vaikka hän on suomalainen.
Norja on Skandinaviassa, mutta Suomi ei.
Is in Scandinavia, but Finland is not.
Roosa ei tajua, että se on väärä tori.
Rosa does not realize that it is the wrong square.
Hän ei tajua, että Berliini ei ole Sveitsissä.
Hän ei
tajua,
että
että Berliini
ei ole Sveitsissä.
Sveitsissä.
Me emme asu enää Japanissa.
We do not live in Japan anymore.
Japani
ei ole pieni
maa.
Tuo suuri monumentti on
Argentiinassa.
Right. And we've leveled up. And let's see, we're gonna do one more XP. Okay, 23-33. Just barely in first place in Sapphire League. With Winnie just 17 points behind. But I think that we're gonna leave it here for now because I need to eat things and rest my hand a bit. Thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you for Tristan for asking all those great questions. Espero que se le ponga tu cuello, Papi Wilson. Gracias por venir. And thank you, Mask. Thank you all. And thank you, even though you're not here, Ether, Polyglot, for helping me sort out the noise gate. Have a good evening. I will be back tomorrow.